What is going on? What is going on, y'all? It's your boy Big J, host of the JJL Sports Talk. I got as always, I got my boy Kyle Edwards in the building, rocking that trash Boston Red Sox hat.
Once again, until you win a title, I don't take the Yankees seriously. I just don't.
But yeah, we back with another episode of the JJL Sports Talk. And welcome to the show. Kyle, how you been, man?
I'm good. I mean, watched a lot of Olympics. It's kind of weird that it's over, but yeah, it was just a lot of fun. I'm one of those who just watches every sport that comes on during the Olympics, everything from table tennis up until the big ones like swimming and all that. So I completely enjoy it.
Right. So, like you did mention the Olympics. They did just wrap up the closing ceremonies. I think every sport has concluded.
Closing
For
ceremonies and
the
everything just happened.
yeah, I was confused. Like, so they did one in Paris, and I guess one in the States because they showed like the ceremony. Then they
No,
switched
they
to
just
LA.
show like the passing of the like responsibility. So they ended it in Paris. The one in 4 years is in LA. So they allow LA to like show off their logo and
Oh, okay.
every just to let people know like, oh yeah, in 4 years it's in LA. That's all they did today.
Yeah. That was pretty cool to see both the opening and the closing ceremony. I didn't watch all of it, all of the closing ceremony, but yeah, I mean, what a way to start off. What a way to start off the segment with Olympic basketball or Olympics in general. I mean, I know the USA just capped off gold medal of both teams, actually, women's and men's teams. I think the women's game was they came back. It was like they won by 1 point, 67-66 against France. But man, the USA team, what a team. I mean, we all knew in the exhibition games that they weren't gonna go too heavy because they're exhibition games because they didn't really mean much as far as their record. They just want to get the chemistry down. But when they started playing like real tournament games, they didn't put the foot on. They didn't put the foot on the brake. They kept on going hard and hard. Curry was just going off. Got Embiid involved. Durant went off. I mean, the reporter asked LeBron, I mean, you have the dream team, and then, I mean, what do you call this team? The Avengers. I mean, tell me, like, so some teams have, I mean, I've seen, like, in the past, like, of this tournament, like, there's been, like, at least one or two good players on each team, like, with Jokic, he's the center of the team. Then you got Wemby, on France, and then maybe you can, yes! Mom, I'm on a show. my bad. But like USA, I mean, they had the stars at every position. LeBron, Curry. So what was your like intake on the Olympic play and how they? I know they came back against Serbia, but that was really a team effort. Really, Curry just went off in the last part of the third and he was just not missing, and then it carried it into the last game, which we'll talk about after you say your take. But it's talk to me, man, from exhibition play to the tournament play. Like, tell me your thoughts, and then we'll get into Tatum, which kind of irks me, but we'll go talk about that after that.
Like when you look at the team, they did what they were supposed to. They won gold. It wasn't necessarily the best basketball all the time, but part of that could be anything from rotation, the makeup of the team.
Oh, no.
I mean, you had.
I think you're cutting out, bro.
Oh, I am? Can you hear me?
You're bugging out like your Wi-Fi. I mean, you're good.
I am.
You're good now for like we talk again. Talk.
Yeah. I mean, can you hear me now?
Yeah, you're good now. You're just cutting out like it sounded like a robot. Like it was kind of breaking
I
up.
mean, okay. I'll be looking. If anybody's listening, can let me know if my mic's all screwed up, and I'll fix it. But it was just that. Look, I was one of those who was very critical of Joel Embiid. I thought the game against Serbia, he played well offensively. He still
Oh man,
struggled mightily. Huh?
this is really really bad. I'm so sorry, Kyle.
I mean, I'll back out and come back in.
But Kyle, try to.
It might be your end because now you frozen.
Cannot hear you, man. I cannot hear you.
All right, I'll back out.
Yeah, viewers, can you hear me or can you hear Kyle? Like, let me know. Let us know. Whoever's watching.
Okay, so Jory said my audio is fine. So I guess it's on your end, I guess, that you're having Well, I guess it's my show until he comes back. As I was saying, like the US team, they I thought they played well when they needed to. I still have some, definite questions about them. And especially with, can you hear me better now?
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
On my end, you're just like choppy and buggy. On my end,
I don't know. Jory said it was fine, unless it's like your headphones or something acted out. I don't know.
yeah, I'm on my laptop. But like, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh man.
I mean, I'll just keep going, and then I guess if you pick me up better, then I guess you'll just join in. But I thought that the France game was, a good test for them. Wemby, he's trying to establish himself as a big star. I thought what he did with France, getting them to the gold medal game, definitely does a lot for him. I did think it was a little anticlimactic that we kind of built it up as Joel Embiid versus France, and Joel Embiid was horrible. And Steve Kerr learned very quickly he had to pull him from that game and just sit him on the bench. Like, he was not going to be able to cover Wemby. He got to play a little bit when Rudy Gobert came in. That's only because France doesn't really use Rudy Gobert offensively. So he was allowed to kind of be out there and play defense, which was basically him standing in the paint. Even though his rebounding isn't all that great. But
this is really, really bad. I'm so sorry.
I mean, you still can't hear me?
I'm so sorry, Kyle. Like, on my end, it's
I mean, look, I guess Jordan's having some issues, but I'll just keep going. So, like, they won gold. They did what they were supposed to do. I mean, in terms of a impressive level, I'd say they were probably like a 7.5 out of 10. There were some times where they just looked disjointed. I feel like some groups that Kerr put on the floor performed better than others. Kerr was kind of stubborn with a lot of his rotations and everything like that, which I know Jordan wanted to get into in a little bit. And yes, Curry was incredible against France. Like, what he did to close that game out was just the best way for the U.S. to kind of end the tournament. It gave that crowd a lot of excitement. We saw like vintage Curry up until that game. There's a lot of questions about what was going on with Curry. He was kind of relegated to standing around, but against France, he got more involved. You had LeBron, who did his thing. Even though LeBron had some turnover issues, but I'm not going to sit here and necessarily hate too much. He won, I guess, the tournament MVP, which I kind of forgot that they did that. But I don't know. It was just like it was good to see them win. I am one of those who kind of likes the fact that the world is somewhat catching up and closing the gap a little bit. I know I see a lot of people on social media talking about how, the 92 Dream Team was trash because look at the teams that they played against, which, look, that's my whole thing in terms of social media around this team. Is kind of annoying because what people don't realize was 92 set the stage for where we are now. 92 is all about growing the game globally. So yeah, obviously the competition was going to be that great. But anyway, just to kind of fast forward to now, it's like I know Kerr's under a lot of scrutiny. I think he deserves it. I don't think that it necessarily takes away from his coaching ability as the Warriors coach. And I also seen that narrative kind of running around where it's like, oh, because of how he did with Team USA, Kerr isn't a good coach. I don't think so. I just think he's set in his ways. Hold on, I think I could pull comments up here. Men's team was stressful. Yeah. Because you see the collection of talent, on these other teams, and you're like, how come they're not blowing out certain teams or whatever? Although I felt like once they got past the exhibition stage, I thought they performed really well to start off with. But then that Serbia game kind of really reminded you of the struggles that they had early on. And it was, I don't know, it's kind of an up and down Olympic period. What's going on, Coach? Yeah, so I'm just carrying the show right now until Jordan can get back on. He said he's having a little bit of Wi-Fi issues, but look, I could do this for a little bit with you all. So look, if you're in the comments and you want to throw in some questions about Team USA, whatever, we can definitely do that until Jordan comes back on. But yeah, so it was a great tournament. They got the win. They did it all. But I guess I'll just segue into the next topic. The Kerr Tatum thing, I feel like is something that I find very interesting. A lot of the discourse around all of that because this is the same Tatum who, some fans have been clowning all playoffs. They clowned him because he got the cover of NBA 2K. They clowned him because of the situation in the Olympics and him not playing. When it's like, I bet whoever your favorite player is probably hasn't accomplished what Tatum has early on in his career. So I'm just throwing that out there. I think where the Kerr stuff looks worse is that some of Kerr's explanations for it just made it worse than it should have been. Like the first time they asked him about him not playing, it was, oh, I forgot to put him in. And it was like, how do you forget to put in a guy who just won an NBA title? How do you just forget? So then he played in the next game, obviously just to appease everybody for asking him about that game. And then he turns around, does it again, and it was a numbers game. Which I'm like, what does that even mean? Because once again, there were opportunities to play Tatum, especially when you had Booker, Anthony Edwards struggling. You could have sat those guys, give them a moment to maybe regain themselves and throw Tatum out there. Because there were times where, when USA got in trouble, I know Coach is saying Joel Embiid was frustrating to watch at times. Kerr made it unnecessarily hard for us. Yeah. I thought there were times when the U.S. got stagnant offensively. That's when they got in trouble. And a lot of those times was the lineups where Joel Embiid is out there. You basically have to play half-court basketball with him because he's not going to run up and down. We saw that. And those lineups I felt struggled. When Embiid wasn't on the floor, you had AD, Bam. Those lineups played a lot faster, and I thought were way more dominant. But look, Embiid was Kerr's starter, so he tried to make it work with him. So I'm not necessarily like as angry about the Tatum stuff as like certain people are, only because I think the way Tatum is in his demeanor, he didn't let it become a distraction. Like when he played. If it was 5 minutes, 10 minutes, he played. Some people will talk about, he wasn't as dominant, his shooting this or whatever. I don't care. Like he fit in wherever Kerr put him, fine. I also like the fact that Tatum said what happened in these Olympics won't change his mind about 2028. I feel like that's the right way to talk about it. Don't linger on it. Like you won gold. Like you got a gold medal. That's a big accomplishment. And it wasn't just Tatum. Halliburton dealt with it. Halliburton didn't play a lot. I mean, Derek White was a contributing member up until the France game, and Derek White didn't really play. So whatever Kerr preconceived rotation was, he was not going to change from it. Because once again, Booker and Ant struggled. You could have thrown Derek White out there for a few minutes just to give it a nice little change up. So, I mean, Kerr had an interesting Olympics. I think I saw somewhere that he might retire and something like Spoelstra might take over. I mean, I guess. I don't know how to feel about that, but I feel like at least it'd be something different. So, I mean, look, Jordan, I see you're back. I don't know if your Wi-Fi is better, because I did get into the Tatum portion of it, because I know you had issues with the Tatum stuff.
Yeah, my bad. I missed whatever. I mean, like all you said, I was just trying to get back into the stream, but yeah, I mean, and like I'm a big like Tatum fan, and like it's just the fact that I mean, I get like, and that's why we're gonna get into the FIBA rules after this segment, because I get like the quarter, like I know NBA like are 12-minute four quarters, and then FIBA's 10-minute for a quarter, so it's the game is a little shorter. So I get people, the star players have to get their minutes. LeBron, Curry, Joel Embiid. But there's times, and I get it. Tatum had a couple of games in the exhibition games where he wasn't going off. But was this like second Olympics? I believe. I don't think he really played a big role in the first one because he's young. But I mean, I don't know. I've seen a lot of stories on Twitter and how like a couple years ago how going back to that Celtics Warriors finals. I mean that maybe Kerr didn't play Tatum because he wanted get the taste of his own medicine. And I don't agree with that. Like I feel like Tatum,
that doesn't make sense, because
that doesn't make sense at all. Because, exactly, and the fact that the quote that I saw that I read from Kerr was that it was a mathematics problem. Like what does he mean by that? Because Tatum, yes, he might be a little streaky in Olympics, but it's about getting minutes and like maybe spot up like maybe 5, maybe 6 minutes. And like I said, I get it. They had to allocate the minutes between like Jrue Holiday and but how the heck do you? And I get it. Derek White is a phenomenal player, but you can come from Kawhi to Derek White getting more minutes over Tatum. I just don't. And I can kind of
Derek White has nothing to do with Tatum's minutes.
Like I can kind of tell like from like the camera pans from like the court to Tatum. His move, he wanted to play. And I think he should have played, not like every single minute, but I feel like you have, an extra lengthy body to score. It's not really a defender, but he can defend, the perimeter as, at his position. And I'm not even hating on Tatum. I feel like he should have played more than he played. And I feel like every sports fan that was watching the Olympics agrees with me. But like I said, it's kind of hard to distribute out like the minutes and who you're gonna play and what team you're gonna play. But the fact that look, like Anthony Edwards played and he struggled for like a couple games. why not play Tatum in that stretch? Or but I mean, as a Celtics fan, are you mad that I mean, obviously he got the gold medal, but do you think that he contributed in that gold medal as he should have been contributing? Or like, what do you think of that? Since you're a Celtics fan, like, what do you think on that?
Look, I don't know what Kerr's game plan was.
Because he was like, I heard he was like the 11th man off the bench.
Yeah, like, but when you play for Team USA, somebody's gonna have to be 11 and 12, because it's not like it's Serbia where you have Jokic, you got Bogdanovic, and then a lot of other Vic guys, and it's not like Greece. You have Giannis and a few other guys. Like, this is Team USA, so not everybody's gonna get the minutes that they want. The guy that impacted Tatum's minutes was Durant. Plain and simple. When Durant wasn't available during the exhibition, Tatum played.
Yeah.
Durant came back. Tatum's minutes diminished like severely.
I guess to counteract that, or I agree with you. Like that's facts. The reason why Tatum didn't play was because of the KD, but there were some points where, in my eyes, I thought KD was good with the second lineup. Because I feel like if you put Tatum in the first lineup, and say if they went down and put KD on the bench, like, he played well with that second unit. Like, even though they say the B, I mean, I call it the B unit. I mean, the B unit is like the bench unit. That's still an all-star lineup. I mean, you would have AD, Durant, maybe Anthony Edwards come off the bench, or maybe like switch off. Like, maybe have KD start, have Tatum bench, and then if KD. But KD, he was going off. I mean, I agree, and that's facts. Like, since KD came back from that injury and he came back with the team, that's why Tatum went down. But there's some times where KD shined with the second unit. So, but the fact, I don't think Kerr even, like, I don't think he didn't even look Tatum's way. I mean, even with the with the bench unit, like, I mean, there were some stories where, was he hurt? Was he not hurt? Why was he not playing him? Like, I don't, and I get
I think Kerr is set in his ways. He loves 3-guard lineups, so he loved running that lineup with Ant, Booker, and Holiday. He loved that lineup.
I get it. I get Booker. He's a good player. I'll put Tatum over Booker in the starting lineup, to be honest. I mean, because of the length.
I'm not even mad about the whole starting lineup thing. There was a lineup that he had in the exhibition that I thought we would have seen in the Olympics, when he had Tatum, White, AD, and Bam. He had those 4, and the 5th guy was like Booker or Ant sometimes. I thought that lineup was pretty good because defensively they locked down, they'd get points in transition. He never used that group of 4 during the Olympics. I just didn't understand why he didn't do that. So it is what it is. 4 years down the line, you're probably not dealing with LeBron. You're probably not dealing with Curry. You're probably not dealing with KD probably. So that creates a space for Tatum to have a bigger role. And like I said, Halliburton didn't play a lot either, and Halliburton is one of the assist leaders in the NBA.
He didn't play either, man. That's another player I didn't like. Why didn't Kerr put him in for spot up minutes? I'm not saying start. I'm not saying give Tatum all the minutes. I'm saying spot minutes. Come in and so he can get a rhythm. I mean, he didn't. I don't think Kerr even turned Tatum's way, and the fact that he came off of just a championship winning run. Obviously you're gonna. Obviously your 2 main players they're gonna play are LeBron and Curry, and then KD when he was healthy. That's obvious. But there were some other games where I saw Ant not. He has some good plays and some good runs, but there's some times where he was inconsistent. Booker was not hitting shots, and at times had Tatum play. That one, you're getting a scorer, an elite scorer at that point. You're getting a lengthy guy at that position who can play power forward, small forward, or hell, if LeBron goes out or get some rest, put Tatum in. You know what I'm saying? Or like, where I mean, there were some spots where Anthony Edwards kind of like didn't play it well. Like he had like 2 points, 4 points here and there. Like, I mean, I'm not saying get Tatum all the glory or whatever, but at least put him in and then like get him. But then again, like you said, LeBron this probably going to be his last run at at the Olympics. So maybe
should be. I keep hearing everybody say probably.
Even Curry too. Like Curry's goal was to play in the Olympics. Like his goal was to or win a gold medal.
This was his first time being in the Olympics. I have no problem with Curry.
Oh, for
Curry never got to play in the Olympics. Yeah, Curry never got to be in the Olympics because of I think it might have been injuries before or just like rest. But for whatever reason, this was his first Olympics. So I had no problem with him. But yeah, 4 years down the line, I don't need LeBron on this team. I could probably say don't need Durant. And yeah, I think Curry might be just one and done. I don't think Curry comes back in 4 years. So that's 3 spots you can give to, I don't know, some new guys. I'm trying to think of who. Maybe like a Paolo Banchero from Orlando.
He could probably be there. No, isn't he Italian? When he play for the Italian team?
I think Banchero has like dual citizenship, so he could be U.S. or
Italy. Or I think even I don't think they have to qualify Italy. But
for some reason I was thinking he was Brazilian for some reason.
No, he's definitely Italy. Banchero is definitely he's definitely
I don't think he's Italian. I don't think Banchero's Italian.
Yeah.
Look, maybe dad's side or something. But when I hear Paulo, I automatically go to Brazil for whatever reason. But
Banchero's father, Mario, and his uncle played college football for Washington. Banchero is of is African American descent on his mother's side and Italian on his descent on his father's side. So,
okay, for some reason I thought Brazilian. Well, okay, so Italian. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, he has here's a picture of him. He has the Italy.
Okay.
I mean, no, you're right. Like the first.
Yeah, I mean, so if he chose to play for Italy, fine. But if not, he would fit in with the USA.
Yeah, right.
I don't know, like Chet Holmgren or something like that.
For some reason, I always think he's international, man. Like, but no, like, yeah, he's American.
Yeah. So you can have him. I don't know in terms of another spot. Like, I know a lot of people will say, Jaylen Brown didn't make it this time. A lot of people also think there's probably no chance now of Jaylen Brown making the Olympic team because of him, speaking out against Nike and all this kind of stuff. And to be honest with you, whatever. Like Jaylen Brown's going to do what he's going to do. He's going to say what he wants to say. He doesn't hold back. One of the reasons why I love him as a player. And it's kind of unfortunate because I also thought like he could have been on this team and played pretty well, especially coming off the finals that he just had.
I mean, yeah,
both Tatum and Brown. I guess to cycle back to Tatum, though, I'm kind of okay with him not playing a lot because he did have a long season. A lot of these other guys.
I mean, some of these other guys did
gone in the first round. Ant gone in the second round. LeBron was gone in the playoffs early. Curry didn't even make it. Durant. So a lot of these guys were early exits. Tatum had a long playoff run.
I mean, Drew Holiday had a long and he played.
I mean, Drew Holiday filled a role that Tatum couldn't. Drew Holiday was a lead guard.
He's a good defensive guard. Yeah.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Tatum.
But I'm saying like they're still on the same team.
That's the problem with Durant. Durant cut into Tatum's opportunity.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like they could. I mean, I feel like Kerr still could have like interchanged their, like, say if Durant was tired, they could have switched Tatum in, or, like, I mean, if I was Kerr and I was USA, the management, I'd probably put Tatum in the lineup over Booker because there was sometimes Booker was wide open, missing threes, turn the ball over. I mean, I'm not even hating on Booker. He's a good player. I mean, there's some times where Tatum should have been in that game or been in more games. Mm-hmm. But, and again, I'm not saying he should play the whole. He should hog the minutes. Tatum should play spot minutes, like spot up minutes. But again, it's FIBA rules. It's 10-minute quarters, so you have to really spread out the minutes evenly and kind of like to put the best lineup out there. But I mean, putting Tatum out there is not a bad way to go. I mean, he's still a good scorer. He can still get to the rim, still defend players at the perimeter. It wouldn't be a letdown on the team. I mean, he's still young. Let him get some, But like we both agreed to, like, I mean, they're coming to LA in 2028. He's gonna get more playing time, hopefully, get some more experience. But who knows? Kerr might not be the coach for 2024 or 2028. I mean, do you think if you're Tatum, are you playing again if you're not gonna get minutes? Or do you think he's going to get minutes?
I mean, I kind of figure 28 he's going to, because he'd be 30 by 2028. Yeah. So he'll be kind of one of the elder statesmen. And I think he'll probably be a starter. Obviously, it'll depend on how they make the team up. But I would assume that he'll probably be like the starting 4 or something on the 2028 team. And I think that's kind of why he's like, if he wants to play in 2028, he probably will. And I assume Kerr's not going to be the coach. Like I said, there's a report that like Kerr's going to step down. Spoelstra will take over. And I guess we'll see what Spoelstra, what kind of lineups he likes to run out there. I don't know. It's the Olympics. It's always difficult to, take over an all-star team to the Olympics and make everybody happy. Because like I said, this isn't, Canada. It's not Germany, where you may have a couple of NBA players who can dominate the minutes, and then you're bringing in guys who, yes, for their team, really good, but on the grand scheme, aren't as good as a lot of the guys that's sitting on the USA bench. That's just how it is. So, I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah. I agree. So let's talk about let's dive into the last couple of games of the tournament. Serbia comeback, and then the gold game. We were down in the third quarter. I think 15-16, and then there's a splurge with LeBron and more Curry because he was the 3-point shooter. But I mean, what do you think about that comeback, man? Like, because Embiid went off for like 19 points. And he might not. I mean, I think he's going back to Cameroon. I think next Olympics, so he might not play. But I do like Bam though. Bam is I think he should make the roster.
Bam and AD were better than Embiid. They just were.
That game against Serbia, Embiid played well. For sure.
Yeah, he was good offensively. He was decent defensively in that game. I'll give him that. But Serbia couldn't really attack him. Wemby on the first couple of drives went at Embiid, and Embiid was reaching for air. And I was like, nah, you got to sit him down. This is not the game for him. Wemby would have torched him easily. And that was a game that Embiid had been building this whole thing up to, because the French crowd hated him the minute he stepped on the court with the USA. He tried to feed into it, and then you finally play against France, and you were garbage.
I think. Is there a hate between Embiid and France? Like, what did he do to France?
He has French citizenship, and France assumed he was going to play for France this year.
Oh,
but he switched it up when he became a U.S. citizen and said, "I'm playing for Team USA."
He has Cameroon, France, and
Cameroon. Yeah, he's a triple citizen.
Sheesh. I didn't know about France. I didn't know about that.
Yeah, they were expecting him and Wemby to play together.
Yeah. No, and then that gold game, for gold, that game was. I mean, I don't think USA ever lost the lead that game, and then Curry was just like unbelievable in the last stretch of the fourth quarter with those amazing 3-point shots. That's just Curry. That's what he does. But I mean, LeBron won MVP of the Olympics. But it could have gone the Curry's way. The way he carried the team. I mean, I think it was
LeBron had a more consistent tournament. That's why he got it.
I mean, yeah, I feel like all around, like triple doubles. But Curry, I mean, they both could. I mean, I would have been happy with both MVP choices. I mean, well, I'm not sure who the candidate. Well, the Curry and KD and LeBron. I think the three.
I don't know. I assume once I heard that they're going to do it, I assume LeBron's going to get it. I'm okay with it. Whatever. Yeah.
You sure about that?
Yeah. Jory has a good point. The women did well as well. That was a crazy game.
That last game, I mean, they came back, but that was a 1-point game. But they did good like throughout the tournament, though. But yeah, they had a good run too. I didn't really watch them because I know they're like in Paris, so like the time are so weird that I don't get to catch the women's games sometimes.
That's why they do encores late at night, because they worry about people who work during, because like the games would come on like 1:30 or 3 o'clock, and they knew a lot of people might be stuck at work, so they did like encore replays at like 8 at night to try to help that crowd catch a lot of stuff they missed. But yeah, I mean, look, you have Brown and Stewart, you got Asia Wilson, you got players like that. You're going to be pretty good. Yes, talking to you, Caitlin Clark people, because I saw that already. Like, so because Asia Wilson played like whatever, does that mean she's better than Caitlin Clark? It's like, y'all Caitlin Clark people need to just chill out. They were playing better than the men. Yes. Leading up, yeah, they were. They were definitely more dominant than the men were.
Oh my god! Like whatever you said, I did not hear because again, that's straight tripping. I don't know.
No, I just agreed with Jory's comment that the women were playing better than the men. They were more dominant. Yeah, Jordan's got the Wi-Fi issues. So I'll continue to kind of lead the conversation. I know, like Jordan wanted to talk about FIBA rules and all that. The one thing I'll say is FIBA allows a physicality to the game that I appreciate more than the NBA. That's definitely something I would love to see the NBA adopt. FIBA physicality. I don't know why they don't. It makes for a better game. I just don't get it.
What, StringYard is acting up today, man?
Oh, yeah, I don't know. Because I think like Jordan has said, like the audio's fine. So I don't know if it's just like your end and the connection isn't working. I don't know. But yeah, so the physicality of the FIBA game, I appreciate. I'm even okay with like the ball on the rim and you can knock it off. I think that'd be interesting to see in the NBA. It'd probably bring more value to guys like Gobert and defenders who play around the rim, like Gobert, Jared Allen, guys like that would be even more valuable if you brought that FIBA rule to the NBA. 10-minute quarters, I'm so used to 12. But if they went to 10, I wouldn't care either. But good luck trying to get the players to give back some money for a shorter game. But the physicality and the play on the rim, I'm definitely here for that from the FIBA rules. So I don't know if Jordan can hear me yet. But
I can hear you, but it's just like on YouTube. I had my stuff muted. Like I was watching on YouTube, and it's like I saw myself get cut out, and then I can still hear you fine. I don't know what's going on.
Oh, like yeah,
I had an episode with my boys from school, and I didn't have any Wi-Fi problems. I don't know, maybe it's just, but yeah, I think maybe on his end, maybe, but yeah, this is my first time being.
I don't know. I mean, look, now, you might. I mean, if it still does it, you might have to like back out and like restart your computer and then do it again. You may have to do that.
If I do like do I just leave the studio?
Yeah.
Let me see. That'll work. All right. Like carry the show, Kyle. I don't know you can do that. Carry the show, man.
I got it.
All right.
I got it.
I'll be back.
All right. All right, chat. It's me and you. What's up? So yeah. FIBA rules, yeah. I was trying to think what Jordan wanted to talk about NFL wise. I think he wanted to talk about like top 10 quarterbacks or something. I kind of want him in here for this because I know he's going to try to put his boy Lamar up there and everything like that. So I won't dive into that. Well, let's talk some preseason. Let's do that. I don't know if it was on the docket, but I'm here with y'all. Let's talk some preseason until he comes back. So look, if you don't know, like it's your first time checking out JJL and all that and seeing me, you get the Red Sox hat gives it away. I'm a Patriots fan. So I've been watching. I watched obviously this Patriots game, and I watched some other games as well. And I will say, some of these rookie quarterbacks have looked pretty good. Obviously, you have to temper your excitement because it is the preseason, especially the first preseason game. A lot of vanilla defenses and everything like that. Hey, what's up, Bella? Appreciate you tuning in. But like, I was impressed with JJ McCarthy, even though I kind of like JJ McCarthy. I think people are reading too much into how he played at Michigan, where he did a lot of handing off the ball and everything like that. I think that's just a product of Jim Harbaugh. Jim Harbaugh is a very, physical style of football type of guy. And he just didn't want McCarthy to make mistakes. I think if Minnesota allows him to open it up, you'll see a better JJ McCarthy. I was impressed with Bo Nix. I thought he looked pretty good. Like Bo Nix Bo Nix was in college for like 16 years, right? A lot of us remember him at Auburn, struggled. He gets to Oregon, looks great. A lot of quarterbacks look good at Oregon because Oregon, they spread everybody out, fly around. You could throw, quick short passes and guys could take it 90 yards for you. And defense in the Pac-12 wasn't all that great. But first impression, I liked what I saw from him. Try to see who else. But first impression, I like. Yeah, I just wanted to. I can hear your phone coming through, but
yeah, I was looking at the YouTube.
Yeah, I just went into football because I feel like USA talk, whatever.
No, I just want to say my thoughts on the FIBA rules too. Like, I do like the rule where you can like you said you can tip it in after the rebound. I do like the people might hate me, not hate me, but maybe disagree with me. I do like to know the defensive 3 seconds, like take that out of the NBA.
I mean,
I get it. Like we should keep the offensive 30 seconds, but you can't. You should be camped down in the paint for 3 seconds on offense, but on D, I feel like that would be interesting to watch because, especially
a lot of teams will get cooked that way.
You think so?
Now a lot of big men can shoot from the perimeter now.
Yeah,
that works against Rudy Gobert. Rudy Gobert doesn't threaten you on the perimeter,
right?
But if you're going up against Chet Holmgren, Al Horford, guys like that, sitting your center in the paint does nothing for you. But I see what you're saying.
Let me see. You said that. Oh, the link went away. The FIBA thing, because I wanted to compare the different rules. For the fans, for the viewers.
Oh, it's still showing in that it's there.
Really? Let me see.
Yeah. Like I said, physicality, I love it. The ball on the rim thing, love that. And he's gone again. All right. Well, let's go back to the football talk, right? I'll show you all are done with basketball. He's back. All right, here we go.
Let's see if maybe everything private chat. No, it's not there.
You don't see it? Hold on. Let me see if I can bring it up then.
Bella says hi. Wait, Jory, I do want to go back to that comment. You said the USA men's team seemed stressful. Like, can you explain that for me? Have they seemed stressful?
Their lack of dominance was stressful.
Maybe in the exhibition games?
Even in the Olympics. They weren't. I think it's the dominance and the rotations was stressful. Yeah, there you go.
Okay, so playing time. So 4 10-minute quarters, 5-minute overtime. Shot clock 20 per second. The NBA 24, so the same 20 per second rule. Timeouts 2 in the first half, 3 in the second half. Boy, only 2 in the last 2 minutes of the fourth period, 1 per OT. Jump ball to start the game. The one losing the initial jump ball gets possession. So that's the same kind of rule for the NBA, right? As far as the tip off.
Yes, basically.
Individual foul out on 5, personal foul, foul out, and 6 or 2 technicals. Can you go down a little bit?
Wait, no. FIBA has like the college rule. You jump out, you do the tip to start the game. After that, it's like the possession thing. So if it's a tie ball, whoever has the possession arrow gets possession. I think that's the FIBA rules like that.
Okay. Team fouls, bonus free throws, 2 free throws. Awarded. Okay. Can you go down?
Yeah.
Let me read that. Zone defense legal. So when I say zone defense, what does that mean as far as just like?
That's what you were talking about.
Oh, that's
playing
the
2-3 zone, sitting a guy in front of the rim.
Okay, illegal, but defensive player may not stay in the lane, aka key restricted areas for longer than 3 seconds.
Right, you can do it in the NBA. It's just that the guy has to move a little. You just go up.
Or I think it cancels out when both guys are in the paint, right?
Yes, yeah. But if they're not,
know.
You stand him there. He goes to the outside of the paint, takes a step out, comes back in.
Like even even when I'm playing on 2K, right? Like I know 2K is different than obviously the real NBA game, but I mean even on 2K, like if you're a center and you're like camped out in the like if you're in the paint and you move out the paint, then that leaves the paint open. Like if there's nobody in the middle, like if you leave the paint because you got to get out the paint for 3 seconds, like then that leaves the guy on the baseline to cut. Whether if there's no 3 seconds in defense, then that lane's not going to happen.
Yeah, you would just step out of the paint on the side with the guy in the baseline.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I like to see that. Like, I mean, before they didn't have it in the NBA, but I guess they checked that. It's all like, I guess it was too clawed. I guess that's why they brought it. They brought the rule. But I mean, I like to see that rule again. You know, it'd be interesting.
Like I said, as big men in the NBA became more perimeter oriented, it took away your ability to do the hybrid 2-3 zone.
Nope.
Because you just get torched by guys on the perimeter.
Mm-hmm. The one I have that confused me is the goaltending for the FIBA rule. So no blocking any ball and downward right flight towards the rim.
It's the same as the NBA.
So when they're blocking the ball downward towards the rim.
If I shoot a floater, the ball is on its trajectory going up.
It must be
block it. That's fine. If it's on the way down and you block it, it's goaltending like in the NBA.
Like if it's like say if you go up and like the ball's still in the air, I can hit it. But if it like bounces off the backboard, thinking it's gonna go in, and I tap it, like it's
basically all right. So it's basically the NBA rule. The only difference is once the ball hits the rim, it's live in FIBA. NBA, you can't touch it on the rim. That's the only difference.
Gotcha. That makes sense. Yeah, I mean, it'll be cool to add some FIBA rules in there. Like, not, I mean, and I think FIBA, like, they play more physical as far as like, foul. Like, they're really letting the refs. I mean, the refs are letting them play a little bit. Like, but I mean, obviously, obviously, I know the league is protecting the players. But I mean, I want some physicality because like a lot of fans are kind of like they rather watch like international ball like FIBA because it's more physical than the NBA. So I want to see more FIBA rules when it comes to like as far as like physicality. But
you
I don't know.
Blame certain players for that.
Yeah, Marcus Smart. Marcus Smart.
if you want to blame Marcus Smart, knock yourself out.
I mean, he flopped.
James Harden, LeBron, Trey Young. Yeah. Marcus Smart does it defensively. That's a little different. I'm talking about the offensive players that do it that ruined it for everybody. If he flops trying to get a charge, you either call the charge or you don't. But if Harden is driving to the lane, I touch him with a fingertip and he throws himself into the third row and gets a free throw, why would they stop doing it?
Yeah. I see your point. All right, we can move on to I think I had on the doc the NBA. What was the topic I had? I had Brunsons.
People want to go NFL.
You want to go NFL?
Let's go NFL.
All right. Well, I had my top 10 QB list, wide receiver list going into the season, and then I had the most exciting things to look out for.
Well, here you go.
Okay, I want to know your thoughts on the NFL preseason, or if you like what you've seen, if you've seen anything. So I couldn't, since the Ravens game was kind of like not local, I don't get to see highlights. But I've seen some spurts. I mean, Wiggins, the cornerback that we drafted, he had some good plays. I'm not really fond of preseason because, like, I mean, obviously it's good for the rookies to get there some shine, but starters really don't play that much. But it's good to see the rookies. I saw Vorheese. He's one of our linemen who was out for the season last year. It's good to see him. It's good to see, I mean, I think we lost by like 3 points, but I mean, obviously the starters are running. But yeah, I mean, I think that
cooked. Cooked.
What do you mean cooked?
The Ravens are cooked.
They're not cooked. They're not cooked. But I mean, how they cooked? You know what? No, we're gonna get into that later on.
Sarcastic, man.
I'm about to say, man.
First preseason game. Nobody takes that seriously.
Wait, how many games? The 3 games, right?
Depends. Some teams it's.
Well, one they had the Hall of Fame game.
Some teams the Hall of Fame teams have to play an extra one, I believe. Yes, this is what the preseason is for. Depth. And the new kickoff rules. Get used to those. That's what the preseason's for.
Dude, what the heck is going on with StreamYard today, man? But yeah, I mean, like Jory said, it's good to see the depth. What they're gonna get out of the rookies. But yeah, I mean, it's a couple of good plays from. I saw a couple of good plays from CJ Stroud. He played like a couple snaps. I saw Jaden McDaniels throw a couple balls, deep balls. It's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting.
Yeah.
I didn't really get I don't really put too much attention to preseason. But it's good to see.
That's why when I be telling you about your team, you should
because some of the games are not localized, and I can't really find a good streaming platform to stream them on. So I will catch highlights.
Well, I mean, NFL Plus, you can see them all because it's the NFL's own thing.
Even look, I can watch at a market games.
No, NFL Plus, you can watch any preseason game. Once you get into the regular season, NFL Plus, you can only watch your local game, but then you can watch the other games after they finish as like a replay.
It's like NBA. It's not like NBA access or something. You can or whatever.
That's
league
what you get Sunday Ticket for.
Yeah,
Sunday Ticket, you would just watch. Yeah.
Did YouTube? Did they make that deal yet? With the different plans?
Sunday Ticket?
Yeah.
Yeah, YouTube TV has Sunday Ticket. The individual plans, no, they haven't done that yet. They're probably not going to do that until next year.
And I thought you could watch your. I thought because I talked to I work at CarMax, and I talked to a customer. He was a Cowboys fan. He said he has YouTube, but he can only watch. He can only. He had the plan where he can only watch his team, but I don't think I don't think they had the
That's
whole.
your answer right there. That's your answer.
I don't think they have the
They
plan
have
where you can watch
every
every team.
No, the comment. That's where you go watch it.
No, I'm talking about Sunday Ticket though. They had the individual team package, but I don't think they had
No,
every
no.
team's.
Sunday Ticket,
What?
you still have to buy the whole package. They don't have the individual team package yet.
Really?
That's
So
what
maybe
they're being sued about. So that's probably going to be next year. You'll get that. So this right here is your best bet this year.
Well, I mean, Ravens have a couple good national TV games. I don't have to worry about watching my team local. I mean, they got the Chiefs week 1. So.
Yes, national TV, you're fine. But when
I know. I'm saying I don't gotta worry about
that website right there, and you'll be fine.
So, did you compile your? Don't get me started about on my pick about a certain team without their QB. What team you referring to?
I'm sure she will answer you. What you can ask me like top 10 quarterback list?
Yeah, do you have a list compiled of your list?
Cowboys border. Yeah. Trey Lance was not impressive. So they better pay Dak. Because Trey Lance would take them nowhere. Because I watched that, I agree. Trey Lance was not impressive. And they gave him like 3.5 quarters to play. He wasn't that good.
Yeah, they got some problems they got to fix out in Dallas.
Yep.
You can dive into that too, like later on. But yeah, I want to get your before I do mine. I want to see your list of top 10 QBs going into the season.
I was planning on hearing yours first, and then tearing it apart.
I was planning on hearing yours first, man. Like you're the guest, my brother. Oh, actually, you're your co-host. Actually, my bad.
I'm saying you might as well do yours because I didn't necessarily write out a top 10, but I know. Yeah, I know you did. I wanted to hear what your 10 was.
Did I? I thought I made a receiver one, but I don't. Did I do a QB one? I don't think I was. Oh yeah, I did a receivers list. I didn't even do a QB list.
Okay.
So this might be a live one then.
Hey man, go ahead. This is what people want to see. They want to see.
I mean, I kind of want to. Since mine's the best list. I want to say my.
You don't even have a list, so you can't say it's the best list.
Well, I know my top 5. The top 10 gets a little murky.
So start with your 5. Go ahead.
All right. Well, it's gonna be So I got Mahomes number 1.
Okay.
Lamar number 2.
Shocker.
I'm gonna have CJ Stroud 3.
Okay.
I'm gonna have 4. Well, am I on 3 or 4? Oh, yeah, wait, I'm on 4 because I have Stroud for number 3.
Yep.
I'm gonna have Herbert number 5.
Okay.
But I was thinking about Aaron Rodgers because he's back, but I gotta, because he went down. I think I'll have 5. I think my safe bet is with Herbert. 6 I have Aaron Rodgers. 7 I have Burrow.
Wait, you skipped 4.
4 I had Herbert.
You said Herbert was 5.
I know, sorry, 4 was Herbert. 5 Allen. I think I'll be 5 Allen.
Okay.
Damn. Because then where am I gonna put Purdy at?
Where would you slide Purdy now?
No, so I have Mahomes number 1. Lamar number 2. Actually, I'm gonna go with 3 Purdy, 4 Stroud, 5 Aaron Rodgers, 6 Josh Allen, 7 Tua, 8 I'm gonna go with Burrow, 9 I'm gonna go with Dak, and then 10th I'm gonna go with Cousins.
Okay. Some parts of that list I can live with.
Because
Cousins
Burrow,
at 10. Cousins at 10 is a guy who, very polarized. A lot of people think he's trash. Some think whatever. I think 10, you're okay with that. I know you love Lamar.
Oh man, I forgot about Hurts, but he kind of man.
Yeah, there's some names you probably forgot.
I mean, I was thinking about
For me,
Lawrence, but he had
so
down
for me,
there.
when I'm looking at like the top 10 quarterback list, like I'm going at it going into next year. I'm not taking no past 5 years and all that kind of stuff. I'm looking at if I need to win a big game next year, how would I rank quarterbacks? And like I said, I know you love Lamar. I'm not putting him at number 2. I can't. I'm not going to drop him like 12th, 15th or something like that. But 2 is too high. Like Mahomes, I can agree with you with. I'm there. Mahomes is 1 until somebody knocks him off that perch. Fine. 2. I mean, I would throw, once again, based off of last year, I honestly would throw Stroud in front of Lamar. I think Stroud is – I think he's got a really good season. I feel like even last year, he had a really good year. I know Lamar won MVP and everything. Yeah. But Lamar was 15th in the league in passing yards. There's a reason why when they asked him to pass against the Chiefs, they struggled. That took away some of his effectiveness with him running the ball on scrambles. So, yeah, but I'm looking at it as, like I said, quarterback, I'm handing the ball to, take me down the field. I'm not having Lamar number 2.
I mean, wait. So, and I respect your opinion. I do, but CJ Stroud is a phenomenal. I mean, I think, because like y'all know me, I'm an Alabama fan, so like I thought Bryce Young was gonna have. I mean, I know in that system and kind of it wasn't gonna work out. It's not gonna work out for Bryce because they don't have any. But I kind of had Bryce over Stroud. Because
I never did.
But it wasn't like drastically.
I'm just telling you, never did. Bryce Young's height is a real problem.
No, yeah, I mean, just like Kyle Murray, like he's short too, like and he's like one of those short quarterbacks. I mean,
Kyler Murray is a better athlete too.
Yeah,
that's what helps it.
Yeah. But I think it's just too. And I like CJ Stroud. I like his game, man. I like his game. But I wouldn't put him 2 because maybe after this year, I gotta see what he does with Diggs. And that
once again, like I said, I'm taking it off of last year and then going into next year. I'm not taking like 5 years ago.
No, I'm saying, but like in the second. And his stats were good, like Stroud. I mean,
that's not a terrible 10 there. Well, I think Jordan's Wi-Fi is acting up again.
But yeah.
Okay.
Hello, you hear me?
Yeah.
I just feel like, I feel like it's kind of preliminary to put Stroud that high, up for 1 year. I mean, obviously, yes, he had a great year.
Mm-hmm.
But are you really putting faith in him to have a Patrick Mahomes like put him in the 2-minute drill, fourth quarter.
Mhm.
Are you trusting his?
I trust him more than Lamar going into next year. Yeah, he makes throws that Lamar still hasn't shown me he can do on a consistent basis. Like I said, I'm not taking away from Lamar's ability to, scramble, extend plays, and stuff like that. But as we've seen, if you're going to win at a high level, you need a guy that can make those tough throws, tough situations in the game. And Lamar, I know he can throw to Mark Andrews over the middle. He's really good at that. He can get rid of the ball really quickly, wide receiver screens and stuff like that. But there were several plays in that Kansas City game where they basically dared him to throw outside the numbers deep, and he was inaccurate. That's been an issue for him. And that's what keeps him down on my list. Until he starts hitting those consistently, I can't move him up to 2. That's my only thing. Like I said, Jory's list here, I can rock with it because Mahomes, Stroud, I agree with. Purdy is a tricky one to necessarily slot him somewhere because I do think to some people he's a bit overrated because of the San Francisco system and the kind of weapons that he has there. But I also can't take away from him that he's producing in a system that Trey Lance couldn't and Jimmy Garoppolo could to a certain extent, but was just injury prone.
Yeah.
So the fact that Brock Purdy's taken that team and have gotten them to as far as he has, I got to give him credit for that.
I'm one of those fans that think he's a great player, great quarterback, Mr. Relevant. He's proven people wrong, but he's a system quarterback. Put and wait.
We can't do that though. Every quarterback is part of a system.
Listen, like
Lamar's in a system.
My point is that if you put Purdy, who would you say the worst team in the football is right now? Chicago or like in the past? No. I'm talking like in the past.
Worst team is the Panthers. The Panthers are the worst team in football.
Okay, put him in that system. You think he's winning more games or doing anything with?
How many games do you think Lamar's winning in that system?
He definitely turned that team around with his abilities.
Would he? A lot of Lamar's success. A lot of Lamar's success is that defense.
He came in with Debo.
That defense does a lot for Lamar in Baltimore. He's not going to have that in Carolina.
You say the same thing with 49ers. The defense, Fred Warner. You can say the same thing with the Niners defense. They carried sometimes.
But I was just using that because you put Purdy in Carolina. Like you put a lot of quarterbacks in Carolina. What are they going to look like? Carolina's a mess right now.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Like, do you think we would be putting Purdy this high if he was on like team with less talent?
There's probably a better. Okay, take Kansas City, because remember Kansas City had like no wide receivers. Yeah, and because Mahomes took them where they did, that elevated kind of Mahomes status.
Right.
So if you take that same team with their deficiencies at wide receiver, with Kelsey as your best wide receiver, would Purdy be a playoff team in Kansas? Would Kansas City be a playoff team with Purdy at quarterback based on how he's played with the Niners so far?
I don't trust Purdy in 2 minutes in the fourth quarter.
But we've seen Purdy do it though. Purdy made tough throws last year. Especially
with the way Kadarius Toney was dropping balls and Marcus Stanley throwing, I don't know, man. I just don't. And
so that's different. If you make the throw and they drop it, I'm not knocking Mahomes. I'm not knocking Purdy necessarily.
And some of the throws that the Mahomes threw were some good balls. They just weren't.
Some of those throws that they dropped, I don't know if Lamar makes those and puts it on their hands. I think Purdy could put some of them on their hands. Oh, Wi-Fi again. Yeah. So looking at Jory's list, like I like. Okay, you're back. Okay, because I think Jory has an interesting point here.
I mean, you
The
can say that.
offensive line in
you can
Baltimore.
say with any Russian quarterback.
Yes, but some quarterbacks,
mean,
if their offensive line isn't good, they
I can
make
say that
throws
for.
quickly.
I mean, I can say that for.
Lamar's not that kind of quarterback.
I mean, I can say that for Philadelphia with Hurts. I mean, without a good O line for Hurts, he's trash.
Hurts can make throws Lamar can't.
But I'm saying, like, if the Eagles didn't have a stack of O line that they have now, Hurts would get freaking demolished. And Lamar's way faster than Hurts.
Okay, but we're talking about the quarterback position here, right?
Yeah, but Jory just said Lamar with no. Yeah, but Jory said with Lamar with no offensive line would be hell. I can say the same thing for Hurts. Yeah, Hurts has a good arm.
Yes,
but say if Eagles had a crappy line going against a stacked defense like the Niners.
Okay.
Bosa and Warner would
get
after
the counter. Good quarterbacks, Brady, Mahomes, those guys, they would swing protections. They would.
Did you not see that pass?
Throw in a running back.
Did you not see that play where the box was stacked against the Jaguars that game? And Lamar extended the play and threw it to Likely.
The throw that he threw across his body that should have been picked. That's not a check in Lamar's box. Sorry.
But I'm saying, like, the way he extended that play, like, no quarterback can do that. All right.
No quarterback makes that throw. That throw gets picked off 9 times out of 10.
The only player that can make that throw is Lamar and Mahomes. And Aaron Rodgers.
In 2024, a lot of quarterbacks can throw that ball.
I just don't think, like, I see Jory's point, but, like, I you can say that for any, like, elite quarterback or superstar quarterback.
No, certain quarterbacks, if your offensive line is struggling, they'll make adjustments at the line and switch to certain routes to get the ball out of their hands quickly. Can Lamar do that? Because a lot of times when Lamar throws the ball quickly, it's a slant or it's like a wide receiver screen. There's no real diversity. He's not going to throw like a quick streak or quick fade to somebody. He doesn't have that kind of touch.
Did you not see that Miami game? I was there. The one where we blew him out at New Year's Eve.
One game out of what? 6
But I'm
years
saying, like you said, but like you saying, like you said, he can't do it, but he can do it. And I've seen it with my own eyes.
Yeah, the AFC Championship game is point blank.
Well, yeah, that's a different game. But I'm saying, like, no, I get your point there. But I'm saying, if you're saying the man can't do it, but he's proven time and time again he can do it when games. When games count. And obviously I kind of really refer to the games as, because I mean you can't make the playoffs if you don't have a winning record. He's made plays. He had that one play where he I was there when he's in the pocket. He had so much time in the pocket. He did like a southpaw move. Switch, boom, through the freaking Zay Flowers, man. Like deep.
I bet Zay Flowers probably had 20 yards around him of open space. A lot of quarterbacks can make that throw.
No, he was definitely covered. It was a good throw, good ball.
He's not consistent enough for me.
I don't know. I just think that. I mean, all right. Now y'all both put Stroud number 2. I mean, I don't know if they have. I don't know all about their O line that much, but take their O line out. Is he a good quarterback? That O line, Stroud. Say take his O line out. He struggled.
Yeah. We're not saying that they're not going to struggle, because obviously, if your offensive line just can't block, you're gonna have to throw a lot of plays away. I understand that. My thing is, once again, the Kansas City game, the AFC Championship.
I mean,
after a while, you know what Kansas City basically did? They went man on the outside and just blitzed Lamar. And Lamar, what did he do? Threw bad ball after bad ball, incomplete passes. That's what I'm talking about. Those moments where you don't have 4 or 5 seconds back there to just scan the field and find somebody. any quarterback can
shoot.
kill you doing that.
That's the game of football. If there's no one downfield, you do the check down. I mean, if there's no one open,
so
why would you
how
force a
come against
pass?
Kansas City when they're blitzing the house on you and playing man on the outside, he couldn't do that?
I don't know.
You are making my point.
I don't know, but
that's what knocks Lamar down for me. Because I feel like if Lamar figured that part out of his game, he would be a lot better. Maybe he'd be better than 2-4 in the playoffs, 9 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. That's not an elite quarterback's playoff numbers. Those are kind of numbers you expect from, like, I don't know, a Jimmy Garoppolo or maybe even a Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins, everybody talks about how, he stinks under the bright lights and primetime games. If you told me Kirk Cousins was 2-4 in the playoffs, I'd be like, makes sense. But you're going to tell me a 2-time MVP is 2-4 in the playoffs with 9 touchdowns and 9 interceptions? The math isn't mathing right there. He should be much better.
I mean, this year's gonna be it's gonna be interesting. We got some new pieces. Derrick Henry. What
else?
I'm
you
excited.
Said some new pieces is Derrick Henry.
Derrick Henry. I know we got well, we did kind of keep our receiving core in Zay Flowers. He's gonna have he's in the second year. Bateman. Okay. We got Eddie Jackson for cornerback. So I like that.
I don't care about defensive moves. Offensively, they're basically the same team, except for Derrick Henry.
Yeah, I don't think we didn't really do much. We did sign a couple. Didn't we sign? I think we signed from the Bucks, Gage. I think signed him, but I think he might be like maybe a punt returner or whatever. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah. Eddie Jackson is pretty old too.
He's old, but he's still a good player.
You're just saying that because he's in Baltimore. You don't.
No, I'm just saying. Stats don't lie, man.
Torched week 1. You don't know.
Stats speaks for themselves, man. I said stats speaks for themselves.
Look. So for Baltimore, like McDonald not being there, that's a big deal. Jory put in, Denard Wilson came from there. Okay. Patrick Queen, not there. You can't necessarily expect the defense to play the same way they did last year, this year. And if they slip even a little bit, that now means the offense has to do a little bit more. Can they? That's all. Like, look, I get it. Derrick Henry's there. Derrick Henry brings to the running game, which you couldn't get out of J.K. Dobbins because every time somebody coughed on him, he was out for 6 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Gus Edwards is a third down, short yardage back. Goal line, he's really good. But, without the Dobbins counteract to him, he's kind of limited. Derrick Henry solves all that. I get that.
Mm-hmm.
But there's going to come times when defenses are putting 8 in the box because they're not going to let Derrick Henry beat them. Can Lamar beat those teams? And look, I'm not looking for it to be in the regular season. I'm at the point where I don't care what the Ravens do in the regular season. So if they win week 1 or week 8 and people on social media are going crazy over Lamar's numbers, this is one person right here that is not going to care. I don't. Now, once we get into January, you want to talk about his numbers then? Now I'm listening. Before then, don't talk to me about Lamar's numbers. I don't.
Oh, I'll be in your ear all season about Lamar every game.
You've been warned right now. Don't care. I don't. Like the 2 MVPs and all that, that's all cute. When are you going to make a Super Bowl? When? He's had this window with a pretty good defense.
Mm-hmm.
You can't squander this.
Yeah.
Because if you start losing more pieces defensively, then the spotlight's going to grow even more on Lamar's ability. And you got Zay Flowers, who's, young on a rookie deal right now. Got to take advantage of that. You have Bateman. Okay. What exactly is Bateman as a wide receiver?
Yeah, that's a good question.
I don't know what he is. You got Nelson Aguilar. Go talk to Philadelphia. Go talk to New England about Nelson Aguilar. Who cares? So look, if Lamar is the number 2 guy, as you say in the NFL in terms of quarterback position, he should elevate that group, and they should be better next year.
Yeah, that's why I'm very excited to see this offense. And don't get me wrong, I know we lost a lot of key pieces on defense as far as like Geno Stone. He led the league or led the team with 7 interceptions. He went to, I think, the Bengals, which I hate. I don't know. I mean, I always hate those in-division trades. PQ went to the Steelers, but I think I like I do like Trenton Simpson. He's like a hybrid. He's like kind of like a Roquan Smith. He can hybrid guy. He can tough guy. Obviously, he has a lot to prove. But he's one of those guys that can be paired up with a Roquan in the middle. He can play the passing game at a middle linebacker, or he can rush the quarterback. I like him, and he's young. I know we got Eddie Jackson, Kyle Hamilton is still there. Marcus Williams, Humphrey. I know he's had a wonderful training camp, healthy. So we didn't really. Yes, we lost some key pieces on defense. But I think Roquan's gonna have them boys ready. We got Odafe Owe, Ajabo, those Penn State pairings.
We know the names. We know the names on defense.
Yeah, I'm just letting y'all know again. Roquan Smith, Trenton Simpson, Kyle Hamilton. I'll say it again. No, but I'm excited. Seriously. I'm not excited about Ravens football. I'm excited about the whole NFL season. But every time, even college football, I'm excited for. When Madden comes out, every year is that time of year.
How you feel about that right there?
It's not like the receiver group is Nashville, huh? It's not like the receiver group in Nashville.
Receiver group in Nashville is better. Ridley looked good yesterday.
Yeah, I've never really hated Ridley. He just was stupid to bet during the season. And he got banned, so we didn't really get to see him. But man, y'all gonna hate me. What team did he play for in college? Was it Georgia? No, Alabama. I mean,
come on now,
bro.
I was about to say you the Alabama dude.
It's been so long since he's been in college football, man. Because I know Roquan went to Georgia. Yeah, I totally forgot he went to Alabama. My apologies. No, I gotta edit that. No, trust me, I'm an Alabama fan, y'all. All right, die hard. Roll Tide. Yeah. No, I'm excited for football season. I'm just go ahead. That was a blooper right there. I'm sorry.
Didn't even know Calvin really went to Alabama. Shameful.
But all right, yeah, I don't think you finished out your QB list though. So you have?
Oh yeah.
Or did you finish it? So you had
Mahomes, Stroud.
We saw Jory's list. I was gonna say Dak at number 10. I think Dak and Cousins are tied too. I think everyone has their eyes
because the crazy thing is,
yeah,
people knock Cousins, they knock Dak a little bit. Ahead. They're basically the same guy. So if you had Dak over Cousins or Cousins over Dak, yeah. Because I was saying Jory's list is pretty good. I would say Mahomes, I would say Stroud. Purdy at 3 is interesting. Once again, I'm saying going off of last year, going into next year, I could see that. Josh Allen, this is a big year for him. They took Diggs away from him. I'm hoping he becomes a guy who kind of sprays the ball around a little bit more. His wide receiver group isn't exactly that great. Then Hurts, Lamar, Burrow. I might change that up a little bit. I might go Mahomes, Stroud. I'm fine with Purdy at 3. I'd probably go Burrow 4, which might be wild coming off of the wrist, but I know what Joe Burrow is. He makes all the throws. He does that. I like Joe Burrow, so I'd have Burrow 4.
Yeah, I like Burrow too. Hey,
After Burrow,
hates for me to say that. I'm a Ravens fan, but I like Burrow.
I know you look at him and see. I wish my quarterback could make those throws. I know. It's all good.
I'll let the one slide.
I'm just saying though.
But all right, can you? I think I made this point several times on the show. Maybe, you maybe forgot, but can we? Even Jory, can y'all agree? Because the reason why, I mean, well, can you say you're not basing the list off of whatever the quarterback did 5 years ago, but the reason why I hold Lamar to a high standard, now obviously, yes, we need to win more playoff games, but you have to give. And I know you said you care about the more. I mean, obviously, any sport, you rather care about the players more than the season.
Yes.
But you had to give Lamar his flowers when it comes to. I mean, when you look at all the stacked teams, I mean, the Vikings. I mean, I guess you can. I mean, they have Justin Jefferson, but a team like the Eagles with Devontae Smith and AJ Brown, teams that have elite X factor players. I know you have to give, to an extent, Lamar his flowers because Lamar has done more with less talent. Outside of wait.
I gotta stop you on that one.
Wait. Outside of Andrews,
okay,
we all know what he can do. I mean, are you really gonna compare Willie Snead to Deebo Samuel, or Chris Moore to Devontae Smith, or Chris Moore to I'm just naming
that's not a fair comparison.
No, I'm just that's my point. Lamar has
that's not a fair comparison. Even making the point for Lamar,
the first year,
Devontae Smith and AJ Brown are 1 and 2 number ones and number twos. Willie Snead was never a number 1 or 2. Chris Moore's never been a number 1 or 2.
My point is that that's not a fair comparison because I agree that those receivers are way more talented. If you give Lamar Jackson a CeeDee Lamb, hell, and even a Tyreek Hill, I get the Ravens their system is. They've always been defense. They've always been running backs and tight ends. Todd Heap, Pitta, now Andrews. Then we have Mark Ingram. What other running backs? I mean, I guess Dobbins, but who's injury prone.
And they have McGahee, guys like that.
Yeah, McGahee. They spent their money on in the past, the D line, the O line. They've always been a defensive-minded team.
Why do you think they've done that?
Huh? Because defense wins championships.
Why do you think they've done that?
Defense wins championships. I mean, I know we have two, but like Ed Reed
win championships. He's had pretty good defenses. He wouldn't be 2 and 4.
I mean, in that game.
Which one? Which one are we talking about?
The AC game.
Okay.
Yes, Lamar, as a Ravens fan and as a Lamar fan, he did make some horrible plays. But you can't place all the blame on Lamar There was that one play where there was that one play where he threw it to Zay Flowers, he caught it, and he had that flag, the taunting flag. The play where Zay Flowers had the ball.
Obviously, I'm not going to blame Lamar for that. That was completely Zay Flowers' fault. Yeah.
I mean, but those were points in the game where we could have put the lead. Like crucial times. They fumbled at the goal line.
I'm not blaming Lamar for that either.
Key plays. Yes, Lamar has some bad throws, some bad decisions. And I agree. We should have. I don't see how the heck. I think Gus Edwards only had like 15 yards. I think of scrimmage yards that game, or maybe 15 or 10 yards. I don't see how the heck we don't run the ball more. There are some plays where Lamar, and me being a tough critic, there's some plays where when we were on offense and the line opened up, and there was plays where Lamar could have ran to the gaps. And I get you said that, the reason why, because like, a lot of people have talked about his arm and he's proven that he can make plays with his arm, and I get that, but why is Mark Andrews shutting you from? Yeah, I mean
Mark Andrews takes a lot of hits.
Lamar, yeah, I mean, you can say that for hasn't Kittle been injury riddled a little bit because he's been hit a lot. So you can say the same. I mean, I don't think Kelsey's been kind of
Mahomes sprays the ball around. I mean,
no, he does.
Kittle with the Niners, yeah, but Purdy sprays the ball around.
But
Lamar Jackson, when he drops,
there are some plays where I was like, "What the hell, man, Lamar? You have a wide open gap, run through the hole, man." But I think that with adding Henry, to the offense, one point you have Kyle. Were you here?
Yeah. What's the one point? Oh, you might have froze again.
Hello.
Yeah, you good now.
I was gonna say that. I lost my train of thought. I was gonna say that. Now with adding Henry to the roster, now you.
I think you froze again. Let's give it a second here. Hopefully we can hear about the Henry addition to the Ravens. Oh, you might just be frozen for good now. And I feel like it was a good conversation about Baltimore. Look, this is what I will say, right? The Henry addition will obviously be a benefit to Baltimore. Like, there's no taking away from that. Henry has been Henry's kind of defied the odds of a guy who has a high usage rate. He runs between the tackles. He takes some hits and everything like that. He's been pretty durable. But he is going to be a year older. And in a situation like Baltimore, where they love to run the ball, I do wonder, will they end up overusing him? Hold on. Yeah. So Jordan's saying that his streamer has just been ultra buggy. So hold on. Yeah. All right. So like I said, his streamer's been buggy. So it looks like it's gonna be you and me for a little bit. I'm not gonna go too far, too much longer. Because like I said, it is his show. I don't want to completely take it over. But we're just gonna take it over for right now. So we're talking about the Ravens. I guess I could give you my top 10 quarterback list, but I feel like this Ravens talk, you guys may want that a little bit more. As Jory said, Derrick Henry is not magic tape. Yes, like there's going to be some limitations to Derrick Henry. I feel like Baltimore is going to have to monitor a little bit, his carries per game. Like, I don't think they can sit there and afford to hand it off to him 30, 35 times a game. I feel like that'd be too much. Like, Henry's a guy that they're going to want to make sure that he's healthy to go for the playoffs. And in that division where you're dealing with Cleveland, is going to have a good defense. Pittsburgh's defense, you already know. I mean, Cincinnati's defense is whatever, but Cleveland and Pittsburgh, like you expect those games to be very physical, and Derrick Henry's going to take a lot of big hits. He's, like I said, he's as big as they get. So I think that what I want to see from Baltimore this season, I need to see improved quarterback play from Lamar Jackson in terms of arm talent. And like I said, as I said earlier, he's going to have some regular season games where the Ravens probably score like 30, 35 points, and everybody's going to be like, look, see, he can do it. No. So what? We've seen that in the past. I need to see it very late in the season and the playoffs, because even that Houston game against the Texans in, I guess that was the divisional round, I don't think it was a great game by Baltimore. I think the inexperience of Houston played a big part in that game, and Baltimore took advantage. Not going to take that away from them. That's what you do in the playoffs. Just find a way to win. Because you could say the same thing about Kansas City in the AFC Championship game. Like, was Kansas City great? No. I felt like their defense was really good. The offense was opportunistic. Because Baltimore's defense played really well. They held Kansas City to like 20 points or something like that. I feel like if you have a two-time MVP quarterback and your defense holds a Patrick Mahomes-led team to 20 points, you need to win that game. And they couldn't. It was 20 or 23, something like that. Either way, they probably should have won that. So now this year, you're looking at a division where Cincinnati is going to be better, because I'm assuming Burrow plays the whole season. I mean, the AFC East, yeah, there's a lot of questions about Miami and Buffalo, the Jets and everything like that. I get that. The West, you still have the Chiefs are going to be there. I think the Chargers could be good, or it might be next year with them, but wouldn't be surprised if they were a playoff team. And if that's the case, that would be another physical type opponent that Lamar and Baltimore would have to deal with. I'm even like looking at the South. I know, Jory, who's been in the comments, loves talking about the AFC South. Tennessee's defense, I think, could potentially be really good this year. And if Tennessee were to, capture a wild card spot or something like that, and Baltimore had to go up against them, could they give Baltimore some trouble defensively? Maybe. Why not? And Houston has made improvements defensively as well, and they had a pretty good defense in terms of some of the names on that side of the ball last year. So I don't think the AFC necessarily is getting easier around Baltimore. So a lot of times where I'm critical of Baltimore's play, I understand how great and captivating Lamar Jackson can be. I just am at that point where I'm like, did Harbaugh, did Baltimore miss their opportunity to get a title with this guy? That's my whole thing. Because look, I'm sure they'll continue to pay him really well. He'll give you a lot of Sports Center type highlights in the regular season. But at a certain point, I would assume the Ravens fan base, that's not going to be enough for them. That's where my critique of him comes in. And look, maybe that's me as a Patriots fan watching what Brady did all the time. And maybe I have like a elite type of view on quarterback play because I saw with Brady, and maybe I'm asking too much of Lamar. But if you're going to have people who put Lamar as the second best quarterback in the league, as Jordan did, as Madden has, making him a 98 behind Patrick Mahomes' 99, then I need more then 2-4 in the playoffs. I don't think that's asking too much. So, all right, I guess I'll finally finish my top 10 because, like I said, I was analyzing Jory's list. Like I said, I did not write one out before, but looking at Jory's list, it does kind of. I can vibe with it. Like I said, Mahomes, Stroud, yes. I could even live with Purdy at 3. Not gonna lie, I think Purdy has gained a lot of respect from last year. Allen at 4. Like, I'm not a big Josh Allen hater in any way, but he frustrates me as well. I can't stand his decision making a lot of the time, and that is where I kind of knock him a little bit. But then you're looking at Hurts. Hurts had some issues last year. I think he was like one of the worst quarterbacks against the blitz or something last year. So going into this year, if I know that and I have a defense that's capable, I'm blitzing Hurts until he proves otherwise. I would definitely have Burrow ahead of Lamar. I'm fine with Lamar ahead of like Herbert, Tua, Dak, and those guys. So I think the main thing is, where do I put Lamar? So Mahomes, Stroud, Purdy. I might go, like I said, just going into next year, I might put Burrow 4. Then I would probably go maybe Hurts, Lamar, Allen. I mean, I feel like those 3 you could put in any order. I'm not going to fight you for that. Yeah, I'm not gonna fight you on that one. Then Herbert, Tua, Dak / Cousins. I'd probably put Cousins over Dak. I also think I'm probably more of a Cousins person than a lot of people are. I think Kirk Cousins is a fringe top 10 quarterback. I think his numbers back it up. It's just that people look at his primetime numbers, which obviously he has to take a hit for, and kind of his corny nature, and they knock him a little bit more than they probably should. But I do think with the pieces he has in Atlanta, I think he could have a pretty good season as long as he stays upright and he stays healthy. I mean, he's coming off of an injury with his advanced age. I don't know. It's a little iffy there. But Tua's another one. I like Tua. This might be a narrative more on Miami itself. They have to show me something as well. I'm almost at the point, I don't necessarily care about them in the regular season either. I just want to see when the weather gets cold, will they have more performances like they did in the playoff game against Kansas City, or can they actually rise above that and play better? Because if they can't, they're going to have a postseason, if they even make it there, it's going to look a lot like last year. Because a lot of these AFC teams that do make the playoffs are in cold weather cities. And if Miami can't play in that, then I can't necessarily take them seriously anyway. Herbert, I actually do like Herbert a lot. I mean, look, Jordan's argument about the wide receivers around Lamar, which I guess I didn't really get to talk about that too much because I was letting him get his point out. I'll probably talk about that in a second. We could kind of make the same, I don't say like excuse, but the same caveat for Herbert this year. He doesn't have Keenan Allen anymore. He doesn't even have Mike Williams anymore. And Mike Williams was a guy that kind of underperformed. Quentin Johnston, he's had some issues so far, but if he can elevate his game, he is a pretty talented wide receiver. I think Herbert will be fine. I also need to see how does Harbaugh transform, I should say, that offense. Do they just become like run the ball first, second down, drop back on third down, or run the ball first down, play action second down? Do they change kind of the passing game? And how does Herbert adjust to that? I'd like to see that as well. But I do think Herbert is a top 10 guy. I know there's a name not on Jory's list that some people may have an issue with. No Trevor Lawrence. And if you've seen, Jory and I on our show, I'm right there with you. So I can agree with you not putting Trevor Lawrence in your top 10. but I'm sure some people will have an issue with that. So yeah, like I said, I like Jory's list. I would just switch around maybe the Allen, Hurts, Lamar, Burrow section of it, but like I said, I'm not gonna like die on a hill over those four. But I do think Burrow should be first in that group of four. Um, oh, here we go. Oh, okay. I didn't even notice that you're back in the comments with Jordan. Lamar should be a 99. He absolutely should not. But let's be real. EA is on some stuff. He goes from a 91 to a 98, throwing for what, 3,600 yards? Like, what are we doing here? I don't get how he's a 98. And then you have Burrow as a 93. There's not that big of a gap when Burrow's a better quarterback. But look, I'm trying not to, rain on Lamar's parade too much. But he's not a 99. He better not be a 99 like next year. I will boycott the game. I don't know, maybe. But yeah, so Jordan, the topic that you were talking about before you had to drop out the whole, Lamar's weapons and everything like that. And, is it fair to be, I guess, critical of him based on the wide receivers that he's had as opposed to some other players? Fine. Let's talk about that for like maybe 5-10 minutes, and then I'll probably end it here because, like I said, I don't want to completely just take over Jordan's show like that. So that's a valid point, but only to a point. Because once again, you want to make Lamar 99 like Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes took a team where Juju Smith-Schuster was his number one and took him to a Super Bowl. And Juju Smith can't even make the Patriots, as he got released, as he should have. Jerron Mayo, thumbs up from me. But if he can do that, and you want to put Lamar on that pedestal with him, then you can't tell me that Andrews was a first-round pick, Bateman was a first-round pick, Flowers is a first-round pick. He had Odell, even though that was for a year, did not understand the signing, and we kind of saw nothing happen there, but Odell was a first-rounder, I think. I don't know. I can't remember. Who am I missing? Who's the other? There's another young wide receiver that's always paired with Bateman in terms of Lamar, and for some reason I'm blanking on who it is right now. Hold on a second, because no, I can't have this. If you know who it is, you can drop it in the chat. Bateman and oh my god, this is gonna kill me. Let's see, Baltimore. Here we go. Just pulling up their roster really quickly, because they've had another like few first round wide receivers, and once again, this might be me as Patriots fan expecting too much. I saw Brady perform. He never got any first round picks at the wide receiver position. Very rarely did he get that. Okay, that website's not working. Bateman. Jordan, if you were here, this is your team. You should know your young wide receivers. Because of Aguilar. I don't think Aguilar was a first. Maybe Aguilar was a first round pick, but I'm not gonna use Aguilar to make my point either, because Aguilar is, he's Nelson Aguilar. But my main thing is like they've spent first round, I think some second round picks or something on wide receivers, so I can't necessarily then turn around and be like, he hasn't had the wide receiver groups that other quarterbacks have had. Because at a certain point, that quarterback, who, as you said, is supposed to be a 99, has to elevate those guys into better pros. And I feel like it just hasn't happened. Maybe that scheme as well. I'm not going to, I guess, put it 100% on Lamar. I do think their scheme is a lot of, conservative type play, which is one of my big issues with Harbaugh in general. And I know Monken was supposed to open up this offense and everything like that. If you look at last year, it was a pretty prototypical Baltimore Ravens year. And I'm talking about Greg Roman, Baltimore Ravens. Even though you all cast out Greg Roman like he was the problem. Whatever. He was just the offensive coordinator when he won an MVP, but apparently he was a problem. So, but yeah. I'm trying to think, was there anything else? Oh yeah. Okay. So I was talking preseason football. This will be the last thing. I think I was talking about that when Jordan was gone and then he came back and we went to something else. Young quarterbacks, I liked what I've seen from JJ McCarthy, Bo Nix. I know Trey Lance, I didn't like what he was doing today. Drake May didn't play enough, so I don't have anything on him. Joe Milton looks like Malik Cunningham 2.0, except for I think Joe Milton will get a better shot under Gerard Mayo than Malik Cunningham got under Bill Belichick, because we know Bill Belichick and his philosophy. I don't think Malik Cunningham was ever going to do anything in New England under him. I am interested to see Joe Milton like next week against the Eagles and stuff like that to see how he progresses. Who else was a young quarterback that came out? Caleb Williams, I thought, made some plays. He looked pretty good. I'm not going to lie. I feel like if you're a Bears fan, you should be encouraged by it. But then again, you probably should have been encouraged by Justin Fields, and the team did him wrong. So until the team does right by Caleb Williams, I feel like there's always going to be a sense of doubt in terms of whether or not he'll be able to be successful in Chicago. But like I said, I thought he made some plays on the run that if he can continue that, fine. He may be a pretty good quarterback in the NFL. Jory said Ravens blew their best chance. I do agree. Last season, I felt like that Kansas City Chiefs team was there to be defeated. They weren't as dominant as previous years, and the Ravens weren't able to get it done. And like I said, that's another reason why I feel like I'm probably, to some, overly critical of Lamar. I feel like last year was his chance to seize that opportunity and get to the Super Bowl. Because once you get to the Super Bowl, like, anything could happen. And I'm not going to knock a player for necessarily getting to the Super Bowl and losing. I'm not one of those types. Now, unless you go there and get blown out like Peyton Manning did against, who was that, Seattle? Or, Cam Newton when he went up against Denver. Okay. But for the most part, yeah, I'm not going to knock you for getting there. So I do agree with that. Or do the Falcons. Yes. Right. Although, look, I'm a big Matt Ryan guy. I think Atlanta has been kind of unfair to Matt Ryan. And yes, that's even accounting for them last year, like have that big retirement type thing for him last year when he was in the booth for Fox. Felt a little phony to me, but whatever. And yep, Seattle. Yeah. Okay. So, yes, the preseason, yes. Is there another young quarterback that I watched? Saw Bo Nix. I saw. What other quarterback did I see? Like I said, Trey Lance, I didn't like what I saw from him. Let's see. Okay, so Jory, I know you had Will Levis. I feel like I kind of missed his portion of the Tennessee game. I thought Rudolph looked good, but Rudolph is a veteran at this point. Willis did some plays with his legs. What did you think about Levis? Yeah, I missed. I didn't get to see his whole sequence in Tennessee for the first game. Like I will go back and actually watch his series in totality, but he needs to be better at protecting himself. Okay. I feel like that comes with experience. I do think Levis will understand that, you know, if he opinion, but he went 5 for 6 and ran one in. Okay. I mean, look, that's pretty good. I feel like Levis is a tough guy at the quarterback position. I do like that. But like you said, just because you can take a hit doesn't mean you should. Especially with the way a lot of these guys fly around defensively. Like I think he'll learn that. Like, sure, if you want to tuck and run, you can get 15 yards, but if you can get 9, slide and be safe and live for another down, that has to become his mentality. But I think he has the tools and the weapons there to be successful this year. And even if he, scrambles from time to time, I think that does add to his ability. I just don't want him to fall in love with that. Like, trust the receivers that you have, because look, D-Hop and Ridley and Boyd, they can make plays for him. So like I said, I said it on the show with you, Jory, and I said it before. Like, I am intrigued with Tennessee going into this year. I feel like every year we get a surprise or two, that gets into a wild card or something like that. Just thrown out there, I would not be surprised if Tennessee was like that team this year. I'm not gonna say it's gonna be easy or anything like that, but I don't know. They got something working there that's definitely caught my eye. So I will say, Levis is a young quarterback that, like I said, didn't see his whole stretch of play, but he's definitely on my list going into next year as a guy to keep your eye on. I think I saw a little, was it Tommy DeVito with the Giants? I mean, yeah. You make sense of that situation where, I don't know, DeVito. I don't even want to get into like even starting a narrative about the Giants quarterback situation, because I don't know what to make of it. They paid Daniel Jones. I'm sure they regret paying Daniel Jones, but they're kind of stuck with him this year. I think they can get off of him next year. I assume he's gone next year. Jory said Dayball will be gone soon. I kind of feel bad for him because he did all that work with Josh Allen, which got him this opportunity. Then they saddled him with Daniel Jones, and it could just be a Daniel Jones problem and not necessarily a Dayball problem. But it could very well be both of them are a problem, and maybe Dayball is just a coordinator, not a head coach. Because obviously every coordinator would love to be a head coach, but they don't all have the ability to make that transition. It just might be that Dayball is one of those guys that just should be a coordinator. Or it could just be he gets another opportunity in a couple of years and he's much better for it. So I don't know. I kind of think he and Jones will be gone because they want to just completely start over, get a new coach, let that coach find his quarterback and try it all over again. The vicious cycle of the New York Giants, I'm afraid. I know Jordan put like Aaron Rodgers in his top 10. I'm not doing that. I'm not a big believer in the Jets. Once again, that could be the Patriots in me, but I know who Aaron Rodgers is. I know who the Jets are. It's not happening. I said it wasn't going to happen last year. Yes, the unfortunate happened with Aaron Rodgers. Nothing has changed my mind going into this year. I think they're going to be a disappointment. If they find a way to make the playoffs, it'll be a short stay. That's just me. Let's see. Talked Purdy. Talked Jaden Daniels. Yes, that was another young quarterback. I thought he made some good throws as well. I think he's going to be interesting to see in Washington. And I liked him coming out of college, so I'm rooting for him. But he's in Washington. Never know. He's got Dan Quinn as a head coach. I saw enough of it in Atlanta that I'm not really sold on him. But once again, he's in a new situation in Washington. Maybe he'll be better off. Hopefully, for Jane Daniels' sake, he is. Because, like I said, I'd like to see him do better. All right, so I'm here coming about 2 hours. I will say, Brandon Ayuk. I don't know if this is on Jordan's thing. This whole Brandon Ayuk situation, it's annoying. It really is. Like, it's basically boiled down to, like, he was using teams to get more money out of San Francisco. I don't like that, because now teams like Cleveland, Pittsburgh, New England, who were in the sweepstakes to get him, thought they had a real legitimate chance to get him. It's a little bit awkward. Like, the Patriots are going to offer Kendrick Bourne to get him. I don't think Kendrick Bourne's going to be, like, upset or anything like that, but it's like, oh, now we're not pursuing him. Hey, Kendrick Bourne, we actually wanted you the whole time. You know, that could create something. If you're Cleveland, you were willing to get rid of Amari Cooper, but now, Ayuk doesn't want to play there either. So now you're keeping Amari Cooper. Amari Cooper could feel some type of way, but I feel like he's kind of a quiet veteran type. I think he understands the business side of it as well. And you're Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh probably had their hopes up, thinking like, we got George Pickens, we got rid of Deontay Johnson, we could bring in Brandon Ayuk, and it might cost us a couple of more first-round picks, but why not help out Justin Fields or Russell Wilson? And now Brandon Ayuk has a meeting with Shanahan, and they're like, oh, let's re-engage in long-term contract talks. So it's been like one big waste of time. But I did say, like I said, can't stop. Need to probably stop promoting it on Jordan's thing here, but like, have a blog, did something about Brandon Ayuk. I literally said the conspiracy theory in me, and this was a few days ago, is that he's going to end up staying in San Francisco on a long-term deal, and all this was to drive up the price. We know New England was going to offer him like $32 million. He didn't want to go there. So now, if you're San Francisco, maybe he stays in San Francisco for like $30 million. I don't know. Haven't had an announcement on it yet, but I'm hoping that gets solved soon, because I'm done with the Brandon Ayuk story already. And now, once that's finished, like the CeeDee Lamb story is starting to come up already, where they're talking about CeeDee Lamb could get traded. I doubt that, but that's another story. I need to go away. So, Jerry, just pay them whatever and get the story out of my headlines. I don't get it, but I feel like that's where we'll end it. Like I said, I don't go too much more into it. I appreciate you all in the chat. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. This is normally the JJL Sports Talk show, but Jordan had some Wi-Fi issues, so he was kind of in and out. So apologize for that, but I figured I'd carry it here to the finish line. So hopefully you enjoyed it with me solo. And yeah, so make sure you like the video, subscribe to his channel. You can find me over at Chomping at the Bit over on YouTube or Facebook. Feel free to give me a follow or subscribe. Yeah. Try to see what else there is. That's it. I'm also on Integrity Sports Network, where I do a show with Jory. I do some other shows over there as well. If you like listening to me, you want to follow me, you can follow me over there as well. But yeah, I'll get out of here. You enjoy the rest of your day. We'll see you when we see you. Jordan's pretty busy. I'm pretty busy. whenever we can get our schedules together, we will come back on here. Hopefully he doesn't have like the Wi-Fi issues next time, and we could probably revisit the Baltimore conversation and some more NFL talk as well. But thanks again. Hopefully you enjoyed it. I will see you next time. So on behalf of Jordan, JJL Sports Talk, myself, we'll see you. Be safe. All right. Bye.